What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. I don't know if you know this. If you follow any of my Instagram or anything, you might know, but I really like games. Certain games, not all games. Um, but I really like Pokemon, and one of my favorite Pokemon is Espeon. However, I realized when I went to do an Espeon look that I don't have that kind of shade of purple. I have a lot of pinks and I have really dark purples, but I do not have an Espeon shade, which is really disappointing. So I wanted to do an Espeon look today because she is my favorite, but I just can't do an Espeon look today. So I decided to try for an Umbreon one instead, since I do have those colors. And Umbreon isn't my favorite. Espeon is the best, but it's a pretty close second. I do really like Umbreon. And they do, like, Umbreon and Espeon kind of go hand in hand. I even have a tattoo for it. See? Look. Umbreon and Espeon. Ta-da! So, yeah, I am aware, for all you gamer people, that Espeon is not the most useful Pokemon. I don't care. I love it. Espeon is the best. I don't care what you have to say. So I'm going to do, well, an Umbreon look, actually. Not even an Espeon look. It's fine. Whatever. I do what I want. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. But leave a comment either way because I love to read what you guys say. And let's get started. So I'm trying a couple new products today because I was curious. I went to pick up some more concealer, and yes, I'm finally done, or mostly done, with the ColourPop concealer, and I will never buy that again, probably. But I went to go get the e.l.f. concealer that I really like to use, and I saw a couple things from e.l.f. that I wanted to try. So the first thing is this Luminous Putty Primer by e.l.f., obviously. I've never tried this before. I'm curious to see what it'll be like. I'm going for kind of a dewy look, so I thought this might be good. But, yeah, it's kind of like, it's not as putty-like as I expected, but it's definitely thick. It's like between a gel and a, liquid almost. It's weird. I really like it, though. It goes on really well. It's almost like butter. Like, it just kind of melts into your skin. So that's kind of cool. Definitely luminous, yeah. So if you didn't notice, I got a new camera, so this is kind of a new thing. I had to play with lighting and stuff for several hours, so hopefully it will be okay. We'll see. Anyway, so that was the primer. I'm going to shock everyone by using the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Foundation. If you can see it, the lighting's kind of weird, sorry. It's supposed to be a 2-in-1 foundation concealer. I have used it before. I really wouldn't recommend using it as a concealer. It's a good full coverage or heavy medium coverage foundation, but I would still go ahead and use a concealer. But this is in the shade Porcelain. Here's my Espeon was holding my sponge hostage. I did try this look earlier with a couple different products that I'm not using today because I went to the store in between last time and this time and was like, let's try it. I forgot to hit the record button. Well, I hit what I thought was the record button, and it turns out that was not it. New camera, like. Okay. So for concealer, I will be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish in the shade Fair Rose. Anyway, this is what it looks like. You can't read it because the lighting's kind of all up in everyone's business, but it's a really light, full coverage concealer. I've used it before and I really like it. It's not very matte. I mean, it can kind of come off that way. I think every full coverage can come off kind of like cakey-ish. But this one is not a matte concealer at all. I think at some point they changed the formula a little bit, though, because it's a little bit more liquidy than it used to be. Like, it used to be very thick, and now it's very, like, it goes on a little bit better, which, honestly, I think is an improvement. So, I don't know if they did or not, or if I'm just, like, imagining things, but I think it's an improvement, personally, so. For, like I said, I'm going for a dewy look. So, for highlighter, I'll be using the Hard Candy Highlighter and Contour Stick, just the contouring stick. For blush, I will be using the Blush Sticks by ColourPop. in the shade Cottage Life. That's kind of what it looks like. I'll just be going up at the top of that. As ever, for setting powder, I'll be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This is what I always use. I really don't branch out on my setting powder. I do like Wet n Wild setting powder, and I really have never felt the need to try very many other ones. I tried a few when I was first doing it, and then I found Wet n Wild, and I kind of never went back. For our highlighter, and I think I have rabbit hair on my nose. Anyway, so for highlighter, you can use a cream thing. I do have some cream highlighter, and sometimes I'll use it. The thing with it is once you put the setting powder on, it's kind of dulls it a little bit, and I really like highlighter. I love to be sparkly. I love the whole fairy, glittery, shimmery look, so I like a lot of highlighters. So, I will be using the Moonchild Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I will be going in with that gray color Star with just a small fluffy brush. I'll be going in with that and just doing the highlights. Alright, so I'm going to use a couple different palettes for the eyes. So the first one I'll be using is the Kylie Jenner palette, eyeshadow palette. I don't think it actually has like a name, just Kylie Jenner palette. Quick aside on Kylie Jenner, I believe I did some research on them, and that brand is actually cruelty-free, which is a big thing for me. Most of my products that I buy are cruelty-free, or vegan, or both. Well, if they're vegan, they're cruelty-free, so, you know. But this one was like a freebie that I got at Ulta. I didn't actually buy it, so I didn't really mean to. I never really looked into them. I don't usually do celebrity brand makeups. I think that they tend to be lackluster. I think a lot of the celebrities don't do a lot with the brand. They just kind of like collab with some random lab that makes them, and then they just slap their face on it, which is fine, and I'm not necessarily against that. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that too. I'm just saying I don't particularly care for that, especially if they really just don't know how their products work. I've tried a few of them, the like celebrity brand ones, and most of them I just feel like aren't comparable to other brands that are even cheaper. I feel like you're just paying for the face. So I don't usually buy celebrity brands, but I don't really have anything against the Kylie Jenner line. And this particular one, I will say I actually really do like. I use it a lot. It is my go-to like browns and nudes and stuff. Anyway, I'll be going in with that light shade Jasper and just doing my entire eye to kind of help set. I'm going to go in with that lighter shade Topaz as like a transition shade. We're going to end up doing like a black smoky eye. So we're going to go in with that Hematite shade down here. It's like a dark orangey shade, and just kind of buff it out and bring it up. Then we're going to go in with that dark shade Bronze Eye and go just a little bit lower. This one you can bring down to where the black will be. It's okay if you kind of overlap, because it's going to be blending into the black anyway. Alright, so we've got our browns mostly set, if you can kind of see that. It's not perfect, because we're not done yet. So the next step is I'm going to take a flat like eyeshadow brush, and I'll be taking the Maybelline New York Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner. So, quick aside, this is not cruelty-free. Maybelline is not a cruelty-free brand. I don't usually buy them. L'Oreal, Maybelline, CoverGirl, all of those, they are not typically cruelty-free. I'm pretty sure L'Oreal is not, but I know the other two are not. And so I don't usually buy them. This was an emergency kind of a purchase. I know that sounds weird. It's makeup. How is it an emergency, right? But I was actually on my way to a wedding that I was doing the makeup for, and realized that I needed it and I didn't have it. And I was on my way to the wedding. Like, the wedding was the next morning. I was there in the evening. So, like, I just stopped by Walgreens real quick because I didn't know where an Ulta was. I was out of town. And that was, like, I saw it on the side of the road, so I just pulled over. And all they really had, as far as gel eyeliners, was this. So I bought it. I needed it for the wedding. I didn't have time to go somewhere where I could source a cruelty-free one. So, yeah, I am using it because I bought it. I'm not going to throw it away after I've already purchased it, because, like, I already supported the brand by purchasing it. I admit that. But I will say it is not a cruelty-free brand. I do not ever usually buy Maybelline. This is kind of a random thing, and this is actually the only Maybelline product in my entire, stash of makeup. Moving on. I'll just be taking little bit in that little brush, and I'm just gonna go on the lower lids, just like that. Fairly big, fluffy brush. I'll be using that black shade Obsidian. I'm just gonna go over that black bit and kind of blend it up. Yep, I'm just going over it again with that bronzite and just blending it back out. And then with that topaz, transition it back out. Alright, and that's kind of your black smoky eye, if you can see it. So, that's most of it. We're not done yet. So this is the second product I've never used before. My usual go-to is the Formula, or the Physicians Formula eyeliner. It's got like the bristles. This is a felt one. It's the e.l.f. Intense Ink eyeliner in Blackest Black. It's a felt pen, and it's real thick at the base, so I don't know. But we're going to be trying to make like an Umbreon tail and then eyeliner, so we'll just... Alright, I don't like this as much, so I'm moving over to my other eyeliner. This is not working out for this, so I'm using the Physicians Formula one. And I'll be taking it down to do like a cat eye kind of a look. It's not perfect. I got a little thick because of that e.l.f. eyeliner. I don't like it so much. The tip is kind of dry. It was kind of like snagging and pulling the skin. That's my big thing with it. Like, it goes well. Like, you can see, like, it goes well, but like, the tip itself is like, I don't know. I don't know if it's too thin and it's just not pulling enough, or if the one I got is just dry. I'm not sure. It does dry really fast, and I like that, so I don't know. But, not good for the precision stuff that I thought it would be. So we've got most of the tail. We'll be going over it with some, a little bit of concealer in those dark parts, or those white parts, and then going over it with some yellow. But first, we're going to be going in with Wet n Wild, the Kohl Stick in black. That one's black. And, alright, so we'll be taking that little bit of concealer and a brush. Well, it's okay if you mess up a little bit. We can clean it up with some eyeliner later. Just try and not do too much, because the more product you layer on top of each other trying to fix it, the worse it's going to look at the end. Anyway, moving on. So the next palette we're going to be doing is the Trendy in Tokyo by BH Cosmetics. We'll be going in with that. Yellow shade, Karaoke. It's like the darker yellow shade, but it's still really bright. And we're just going to go in and just dab onto that concealer with that yellow. Now, I will be going back over that with the eyeliner in a minute to conceal it, but I'm going to be going in with this yellow shade and just finish it up. I'm going to be going along the underline and then also on top right here. So, don't blend it too far into the black or you're just going to end up with like a weird, gross yellow look because the yellow is so much lighter than the black. And we're going to go on the top part. Got that yellow going on. I want it really bright. What I will be doing now is just kind of blending it out so it's not quite so sharp. And then I will be going back over some of that eyeliner that got yellowified. Alright, then I will be doing my mascara with the ColourPop Voluminizing Mascara. And then my eyelashes, which is going to be Kiss Masterpiece, Contour, whatever. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I also did my eyebrows, did my eyelashes, everything like that. The eyebrows were the usual e.l.f. Espresso, little pot, gel pot for eyebrows, whatever. But this is it. I'm gonna do the lipstick from Black Radiance, that black lipstick. I'm gonna do part of it with a brush because my lips are weird. And that's the completed look. I like it. Like I said, this is my second round, and I actually think it went better this time, so I really like it. Again, Espeon is the best. But, if you can't have Espeon, Umbreon is a pretty good second, I would say. You think it's, yeah, you like it? I like it. Anyway, as I said before, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a subscribe, whatever you want to do. Check me out over at Twitch if you like some gameplay, and I will see you next time. Bye!